Hey guys, just got a new Samsung S6. Probably some of the most essential things you need for a Samsung is basically, especially with my Samsung, I got a Cricket Samsung. This is basically the lowest you can get 32GB Samsung S6. It's a pretty base model, and I got it because I wanted to save some money. And I didn't get the 64 gig or the other 100-something gig ones because I just figured this would save me a lot of money. I didn't want to pay $800 for it. I only paid about $250 for it from a discount wireless provider. So overall, I like this phone, I really do. But the only problem is that, again, this only has 32 gigs. So in order to solve that problem, some of the essentials you need for this new Samsung is basically an OTG cable, and also a OTG drive. Basically, you plug this drive in, and you instantly could add, in this case, I already opened it, of course, 64 gigs of space. Cat paw. Anywho, long story short, Anywho, long story short, basically by using this, you basically could add space to this, or basically transfer stuff off of the Samsung after you're done with, let's say you're shooting a video or photos or your cat or whatever. You're transferred to an OTG cable or directly with this thing. So I'll do a quick preview of this. Okay, let's just go right ahead and open this thing up. Now, of course, I've already tried this out, opened it and stuff, but let me just put this down for a sec and open this real fast. This one is a SanDisk one, SanDisk 64. Hey you. Anyways, 64 gig. So it comes in a little package of where. Oops, come on out. And I figured that frustration-free package was the easiest one. So the fun thing about this thing is that it goes right into your cell phone, into the Samsung S6. It's pretty inventive, where they basically just have both plugs, basically a micro USB and also a regular USB, so you could plug it back into your computer. Come on. And just transfer from computer to computer. And this is a USB 3 drive, so it's extremely fast. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to plug it right into the Samsung S6. So underneath the port, we have that same port, and we'll just go ahead and plug it right in. Once you plug it in, the Samsung S6 is going to basically go right into a USB storage screen. Basically, it shows what's plugged into the USB drive. I already transferred some things into here, like basically some of my S4 stuff, my music, my video transfers, and other stuff that I basically, when I use my S4 to record videos or pictures, I immediately transfer at the end of the day into, into this little flash drive that I carry with me. Now this is 64 gigs of SD flash, and like I said before, this only has 32. So if I go to this under files, right, it'll actually show you how much megs you're using. So over here it has like videos, I have a gigabyte of that, and then when you go to local storage, on our device, actually it doesn't have it there, storage usage, and on the USB it's already using about 4.4 gigs. I already put about 4 gigs of data over the past 2-3 weeks I owned the S4, or I'm sorry, the S6. The device storage for this device is actually, out of the 32 gigs, you only have about 25 gigs out of the Samsung S6. Again, for the 32 gig model, you only could use about 25 gigs of it. Total storage, of course, it says 82 because it adds the 64 plus the 32 gigs or the 25 gigs, and total is up to about 82. Now, even though this is directly connected, a OTG USB drive, you could play videos off of it, you could play audio off of it, but you really can't record directly to it. That's the sad part about it. you can't really, it can't be used directly. It only acts as a storage device. So you could play stuff, you could transfer stuff, but it doesn't really, unless you have a good app that does it, it doesn't really record directly to it. So I was kind of hoping to record videos directly to my OTG drive, but it doesn't really work that way. It does transfer very quickly. The Samsung, no, not the Samsung, I'm sorry, the Samsung to the SanDisk 64 gigs transfer really fast. It can easily transfer about 20 to 30 megs a second to between the two. To the computer, it transfers about 130. This is USB 3. Anywho, enough about that. So basically plugging it in, it already goes to this. If not, then you can always go to the downward thing, and well, not downward thing, but basically the options by sliding down. And if you click, Samsung made it really smart. They basically put a USB storage. If you just tap that, it safely disconnects your storage, and you just pull it out. So that's really about it with that one. Like again, this SanDisk 64GB OTG drive is extremely useful. Like I said, USB one side, just slide it, micro USB on the other. The other thing I want to quickly show you is a OTG cable. Now this is pretty interesting because similar to that other disk, it's basically a USB cable on one end, female, and the other end is the macro. But it has the drivers and stuff, so you can just plug it right into your Samsung S4, S6, Android device, and what it does is that it gives you a USB port. So you can actually plug this guy into a large $100 hard drive, mouse, anything you really want. You can just put it in a Logitech mouse and plug it in here, and instantly you have a wireless Logitech mouse, or you can even put in keyboards or any other USB peripherals. I think it's very simple peripherals, and you can't really do much of the other ones. But I plugged in a basically a 2 terabyte hard drive, and it still sees it. Make sure it's powered externally, and it will see it and run it. It's pretty useful for about $5 to $10 for this cable. It's very useful if you want to transfer stuff away from your phone or back up your stuff on your phone. Again, the two items here for essentials is this OTG cable, which if you want to really transfer a lot of stuff off your cell phone or make transfers, this is really useful. And this one is the SanDisk 64GB USB 3 OTG drive, which is extremely useful on the go, and makes life a lot easier to basically just transfer, clear off your memory here, and still have your 25 gigs of data you could use for storage of anything. Like I said before, I transfer my music over, I transfer my files over for backup. It's been a real lifesaver in terms of video. If you're doing small videos with your family, or cats, or whatever, basically transfer it, clear it off so your phone can work really fast. The Samsung 6, I've been really happy with it. Even though this is the low-end Samsung, the best part is that the processor is fast and the camera is great. Again, this Samsung Galaxy Samsung S6. The only thing I would add, another essential that you probably need, is a relatively good case. So the case I use is basically something straight off of Amazon. I don't remember the exact manufacturer, but this is a $5, $6 case I got that has silicone inserts and a hard plastic outside. Fits really snug. What you really need is actually a credit card or a small piece of plastic to basically put this in. For $5 or $6, absolutely worth it. You know, why pay $20 for the case? That's essentially the same. It's just basically silicone wrapped over with a polycarbonate shell. Anyways, that's about it, guys. I hope you find this video very useful. Please subscribe and like if you like this film, so I can make more. And try to figure out what exactly you guys really want to see or hear. Again, this is the Samsung S6 review. Well, not really a review, but it's more for the OTG cable and OTG drive. These are really good lifesavers for if you have a low-end Samsung S6 with only 32 gigs, which is essentially 25 gigs. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.